are very few movies that I can think of that contain the rewatchability of Star Wars Revenge of the Sith. It's not the best movie ever made by any means, but it's undoubtedly the best prequel movie, and I'm willing to argue the second best Star Wars movie, but I'll save that for another time. It manages to tell the darkest story in all of Star Wars in the most intriguing, emotionally impactful, and most unintentionally funny way. Man, this movie's so good. I, like many people in their mid-20s, went to relive my childhood when it re-released this past April, and I'll tell you what, it just gets better each time. Watching the last George Lucas directed Star Wars movie really brings into perspective how bad Star Wars has become under Disney. The power of besides Andor, of course. Something that really stuck out to me during our rewatch was how dense this movie is. The amount of plot it has to cover in 2.5 hours is insane. The resolution of the Clone Wars, Palpatine's rise to power, Anakin's fall to the dark side, Order 66, the climactic duel between Obi-Wan and Anakin, the creation of Darth Vader, Padme's death, Luke, Leia. You ever think how Leia gets to grow up on a utopia and Luke gets to farm water on a desert planet?
That doesn't seem fair.
Anyway, all that to say, this movie moves. The thing is, though, it manages to weave a pretty intricate story really well despite some George Lucas dialogue.
You're so beautiful.
It's only because I'm so in love.
And despite the rapid pace at which it unfolds, the movie gives you enough time to breathe so that you can fully grasp what is happening, which brings me to the main point of discussion for this video. There are many iconic scenes in Revenge of the Sith. There is one, though, that I think is criminally underrated. There are many people that are aware of and recognize its impact, but in the grand scheme of the original saga, I think its significance is often overlooked. It occurs right after Anakin has discovered the truth about Palpatine, and he goes to Windu to tell him what he has learned.
I think Chancellor Palpatine is a Sith Lord.
A Sith Lord?
Windu then tells Anakin to wait in the council chamber while he and these 3 cannon fodder Jedi Masters go confront Palpatine. And here's our scene. It's a slow, almost eerie sequence. Padme sits in her room while Anakin waits in the council chamber with Coruscant bathed in a golden sunset in the background. There's no talking in this scene save for one little sliver of dialogue.
You do know, don't you? If the Jedi destroy me, any chance of saving her will be lost.
Anakin is sitting at the crossroads of his destiny. He can stay in the chamber, earn the trust of the council, and likely become a Jedi Master, which is something that he's always wanted, or he can turn his back on the Order and every mentor he has ever had to save his wife. Anakin and Padme look out towards each other, seeking the other's presence, but remaining so far apart. It's interesting because Padme is never explicitly stated to be Force sensitive, but she can tell something isn't right. And this is mirrored by us watching Anakin, who knows exactly what's wrong. Hayden Christensen really conveys a lot of emotion in this scene. He manages to convey confusion, anger, fear, and ultimately resignation without saying a single word. It's a really oppressive atmosphere that's presented in this segment, which matches narratively what Anakin is going through in this moment. The torment inside him as he wrestles with the weight of this decision. This is all helped, of course, by John Williams' score in this scene. It's really somber and a little haunting, with like the slightest bit of hope in it as Across the Stars briefly appears. We all know what's going to happen. Anakin will choose to go to the dark side, which will result in the destruction of the Jedi, the loss of his humanity, and unfortunately the loss of Padme. But maybe, just for the briefest moment, we think it might be different, until ultimately Anakin makes his decision. This scene is so important in the context of the whole saga. It has to bridge Anakin's turn from the light to the dark side. If it lacks in any capacity, it detracts from everything that follows. Revenge of the Sith is the darkest Star Wars movie for a reason, and this scene is that turning point of the whole saga. Everything around Star Wars up to this point has followed the typical hero's journey.
I am a Jedi, like my father before me.
The good guys will stop the bad guys, our protagonist will turn into the hero of the story, and our hero will cement their name into legend, but not here. This scene changes that for Star Wars. There's no relief from it, there's no escaping what follows next. Palpatine is not about to burst into the room and all of a sudden go,
I'm the spy.
What? You?
We don't have much time.
I knew it! I knew it!
oh brother. There are very few scenes in Star Wars that have this amount of emotional weight without any dialogue. The only other one that comes to mind is Binary Sunset from A New Hope. Revenge of the Sith is a movie with many very serious moments that are memed into oblivion because of how campy the dialogue is, which makes the movie very funny to watch.
Anakin, Chancellor Palpatine is evil! From my point of view, the Jedi are evil!
people and you are lost!
This scene, however, stands apart from the rest of the movie. For Revenge of the Sith, it serves as the calm before the storm. For the saga as a whole, it's the moment where everything begins to fall apart and nothing is ever the same. It's the only scene in this movie that isn't a meme. It's a serious sequence that can be taken seriously. The setting is striking, the score is amazing, and the lack of George Lucas dialogue is definitely beneficial. It's the last time we see Anakin Skywalker, and it's our first introduction to Darth Vader. It's one of the defining moments of Revenge of the Sith and the most underrated scene in all of Star Wars. But for real, the actually most underrated scene in all of Star Wars is when Jar Jar gets farted on by this EOP.
Jar Jar is a key to all this.